The Michigan Football Report is presented by Manscaped. They just launched their beard collection. I'm going to tell you about it in just a moment, but it is amazing. Go to manscaped.com as it slides out of my body. It slides out of there. The beard hedger, it is amazing. I trimmed up with it on Monday when I received mine. 20% off and free shipping. Use promo code GOBLUE at manscaped.com. Let's take a question from you guys. We're going to look at the 2023 Michigan football offensive depth chart pre-spring. Better Michigan football team. So you got to kind of project here. 2022, 13-0, lost TCU in the CFP, beat Ohio State again, Big Ten champions, or what we'll see in 2023. So I'm going to say 2022 until proven wrong, although I do think 2023 will have better talent, more proven talent, higher-end talent even in some ways, but more depth. But 13-0 back-to-back years, that's a tough, very few college football teams ever really have done that. So Michigan's got to make the national championship game, I think, for me to think that the 2023 team will be better. So right now, I'm going to err on the side of caution. I'm going to go with 2022. Carl Cordell in the live chat says 2023. Melvin says 2023 as well. Mark Shank says 2022 will miss Ronnie Bell, Schoonmaker, and Mozzie Smith. Kind of agree there. 2023 from Noof Dog. Make sure you guys are commenting in the live chat and down in the description. It is my early, way too early, offensive depth chart for this Michigan football team, heading into what could be a three-peat Big Ten championship, three-peat Big Ten, beat Ohio State again, and a three-peat college football playoff appearance. Quarterback's the first one up, and this should be no surprise, but there's a couple names in there that maybe you guys aren't as familiar with. J.J. McCarthy, going to his third year, could be his last year, second year as starter. Undefeated regular season. He was 12-0 as a starter, didn't start the first game. Davis Warren, though, was a high-level recruit early on in his high school days, out of California, got injured. Maybe some people thought it was a career-ending injury. Michigan gave him a walk-on shot, and by the end of the season, he was Michigan's backup. Cade McNamara hurt. Other guys didn't perform as well, and he is now on scholarship. Then you've got Jack Tuttle, who was a top 250 quarterback 4 years ago, right? He was a 2018 recruit, was at a couple schools there, but most recently Indiana, started a couple games for him a few years back. He's probably your quarterback 3 because I don't think Alex Orji and others are really ready to be that backup quarterback. I think Michigan needs to go to the backup in a clutch situation, Davis Warren, and then go for a high-end talent guy who's got some experience in Jack Tuttle, the transfer from Indiana. Let's take a look back at J.J. McCarthy. It's a sweet graphic, Jack. I like this graphic. Graphics department, Chat Sports, best in the biz. 64% completion percentage last year, 2,700 yards. Now, that's not anything to really call home to mom about, 2,700 yards, right? There's some quarterbacks out there in other schools that get to 2,700 yards by their 8th or 9th game. You think back, Joe Burrow had 2,700 yards by like the 7th game a few years back. 22 touchdowns. Again, there are quarterbacks that have that after their 6th game. I think Michigan has always struggled with big passing yards, big touchdown numbers for quarterbacks. I mean, hell, that 2022 touchdown is like 7th in Michigan football history, and like 8 of them came in their last 3 games. It's kind of crazy to think about. 5 interceptions and a 12-1 record for J.J. McCarthy as things shook out in the 2022 season. 2 pick sixes against TCU. That's the biggest knock on him. Jack and I talked to a couple of the TCU players. I talked to both players who intercepted him in that game, both pick sixes. And both guys basically said, we knew the second they lined up, we knew exactly what route my guy was going to run. I could jump the route, and especially the linebacker who took it back, the one in the second half. So I think Michigan's offensive play calling probably needs a little bit of revamp if TCU is able to game plan for him and basically get pick sixes because they knew exactly what the wide receiver was going to do. So maybe it's not as much as JJ's fault as it is that Michigan doesn't disguise their offensive pass tree routes very well. But I'll ask you guys this question. You saw J.J. McCarthy, 2,700-plus yards last year in 2022. Started every game but one, but was set out in the second half of a lot of games early on where maybe we could have padded the stats. How many passing yards? Knowing that Donovan Edwards, knowing that Blake Corum will be back in this upcoming season and Michigan have the best running back combo in America, how many passing yards will J.J. McCarthy have in 2023? The Michigan record is something like 3,300 yards. I think it's John Navarre. Last time I checked, although I should know that by heart. But you guys tell me, how many passing yards will J.J. McCarthy have in the 2023 season? I'm going to make sure I look at that really quick. Passing yards, season. John Navarre, 3,331. Shea Patterson, 3,061. Jake Rudock, over 3,000. Devin Gardner, John Navarre, Trey Henry. So J.J. McCarthy, 2,700 yards 8th best season in Michigan football history, and that's kind of crazy to think about, where it wouldn't be in the top 30 in a lot of other schools. So let me know what you guys think for passing yards for McCarthy. Let's keep rolling now. We're talking about Michigan football offensive depth chart headed into the 2023 season. We're going to dive into the running backs, tight ends, wide receiver, which you'll be really pretty interested in, and then that glut of talent and transfers at offensive line. I got producer in my ear. We got some breaking news here, folks, in the Michigan Football Report. Manscaped has launched their new beard product. The Michigan Football Report is presented by Manscaped. Attention to all bearded gentlemen. Manscaped has launched their beard grooming kits. Are you tired of using multiple products to maintain your beard? I know I am when I grow a beard. It certainly could help on my mustache. Well, that's where Manscaped comes in. Look no further than the luxury beard Hedger Pro Kit from Manscaped. This complete beard maintenance kit has everything you need for the modern man on the go. From trimming to treatment, this kit has it all. It includes a beard hedger, AC adapter, USB-C cable to charge it, beard shampoo, beard conditioner, beard oil, balm, and a travel bag. Plus, as a special bonus, you'll also receive a free beard accessory pack with a brush, beard comb, and scissors to trim it up when it's kind of like, growing a little wildfire on one side or such, or maybe chops up the side. You need to kind of even those bad boys out. The beard hedger was designed with a unique cutting angle to have its built-in comb lift flat-lying hairs for smooth single-stroke trimming. For a limited time, folks, 20% off this new product just launched on Tuesday. Look at this bad boy. This is awesome. I've been waiting for one of these bad boys. I've used my clippers sometime to trim it up. Oh, it's go like crazy. It's got amazing stuff. Manscaped.com, promo code GoBlue. We mentioned all the cool stuff. Look at this little beard brush. You make that bad boy shine and look good. Oh, hey, I need to comb that. If you look in style, sometimes you get these beards that just look like a jungle, look completely unkempt. Plus, you've got the beard balm. You got the beard conditioner. So if you want to grow a beard and make it look styling, anybody's stunting, Manscaped has got you covered, folks. Support the show. Use promo code GoBlue, the beard hedger from Manscaped. It's designed for you. If you've got a beard, that bad boy is amazing. Get going, manscaped.com/GoBlue. Link is down in the comments and the description. Promo code GoBlue, I should say, and in the live chat. Get going with Manscaped. Support the show. Use promo code GoBlue. Let's over to the running back. I think the best position of any school in college football, I think Michigan's running back room is the best depth at any position in all of college football coming in to this season. Blake Corum, Donovan Edwards, you can call him running back A and A, 1 and 1A if you want. CJ Stokes will be back there. I think Michigan probably could have done well with getting a transfer portal running back, because I don't think I've seen a ton out of Stokes yet. But after this 2023 season, just like a quarterback, after 2023, and Michigan really needs to identify what's going to happen in that position, because if you go into 2024 with C.J. Stokes as your starting running back, Cole Cabana will be a sophomore. Maybe he's the guy, hopefully, but still not a ton of depth with as much as Michigan likes to run the ball. Ask you guys this question. Who's going to have more rushing yards in 2023? Let me know what you guys are thinking. If it's Blake Corum, BC, Donovan Edwards, type DE. I'll pin this comment below the video, this one. So when we do this, so let's remind ourselves, we'll pin this one below the video. I really want to get you guys' take on what you think will come of this Michigan football team next year from the running perspective. Blake Corum, surprising a lot of people, maybe not me, maybe not you, but surprising a lot of college football fans, returning for a fourth year. He would have won the Heisman had he not got hurt against Illinois. That is a fact. But let me know who has more yards next year, rushing, Corum or Edwards. Speaking of Edwards, the Don! We launched our own shirts. And hey, Edwards, you watching this, look, if you want to do a deal with us, take a portion of the shirts. As of now, it's not. But this is a very high-quality shirt. I'll give you the it's Next Level. So they're American Eagle Next Level, kind of the best two T-shirts in the game. I want to make sure you guys know the 100% cotton. So it's not a cheap shirt at all. It's not one of these Gildan shirts that feel like junk. If you want to get the Don shirt, the Don 7, if you are not familiar, that is the name. Donovan Edwards said this week, he actually said, I've been going by the Don for a while. Okay, cool. Gus Johnson even asked me if I wanted that as a nickname. Great. But two of the best play calls from a announcer perspective in Michigan football history, 75 yards, 85-yard touchdown runs, and both times Gus Johnson, 75 yards, touchdown, Michigan, the Dons. I'm a big fan of that shirt. I'm glad we have it. If you guys want one, we sold 100. Now there are 50 more out there that you can buy, and we'll probably keep releasing them in spots, but they won't be available forever. Chatsports.com/Don7. It's in the live chat, down in the comments, and the description of today's video. Big position I'm excited about this year. I think this guy is about to explode onto the college football scene. Michigan fans know about him. Ohio State fans know about him because that touchdown he scored against them. You watched the Big Ten Championship. You saw that catch he made in double coverage, and that's Colston Loveland, sophomore. By the end of the year, he was Michigan's best tight end. And I think even if there wouldn't have been injuries, I think he'd have been getting snaps with Eric All or Luke Schoonmaker. He would have got snaps this year. A.J. Barnhart, coming over from Indiana. He was a starting tight end. I think they'll kind of be a two tight end set like you've seen with Michigan. Max Bredesen, the Bredesen family, kind of gold loyalty around Michigan. He is a tight end. He was in there a ton, mostly blocking. I think he'll still get a big role blocking, sometimes lighting up at fullback. Max Bredesen will be your tight end 3 for Michigan. I'm interested to see about A.J. Barnhart. I think it's kind of interesting when a guy transfers from one school where he's a starter to another school where he's not guaranteed to be a starter. I think you've got at least 4 or 5 guys this year that's the case. Josiah Stewart, I think he will be a starter, but there's no guarantee from Coastal Carolina. There's no guarantee that the linebacker from Nebraska is going to start over Junior Colson, over Michael Barrett. The 3 linemen from the Pac-12, 2 from Stanford, 2 from Arizona State, and A.J. Barnhart on the offensive side of the ball, Colston Loveland. But maybe they just think they're going to have better development opportunities with Michigan and their coaching staff. Guys, Michigan is going to be playing a 2023 season with a really weak out-of-conference schedule. But starting in 2024, as of now, they've got 4 straight years. It's like Texas, Oklahoma, Texas, or something like that. Texas, Oklahoma, whatever it is. 2 road games, then 2 home games. I think how it shakes out over that next year. I bet at least one of those gets canceled. I really do, because both leagues are expanding. The Big Ten in that year is going to have USC and UCLA, and then Texas and Oklahoma. I think it's at 2025 right now, but likely they'll come up with some sort of agreement that they'll probably leave in 2024, so they can be part of that first college football playoff expanded season. Who would you want to home with for Michigan outside of those 2 teams? And Washington's on the schedule in like 2028, and then Notre Dame in like 2033 or something like that. Off the top of my head, I don't really know. Because I guess UCLA, USC, that'd be cool. California, but they're going to be in the Big Ten. I'll say this. I'll say Georgia, LSU. The place I might want to go as a fan. Texas A&M as well. Those would be my top 3. Or Alabama, even Alabama. And Michigan might lose a lot of those games if that's the case. But, it's 1 game a year. We'll see how it shakes out. But let me know who you guys think. I see a Tennessee in the live chat as well. Cody Mumford, he's got a live super chat. Cody, we'll get to that question in just a second as we go through this depth chat. But want to make sure we saw that. We'll get to you. If you're watching on demand and we put this out on Sunday, you'll be like, what is this going on? We're doing this segment on our live show from Wednesday. Wide receiver, Cornelius Johnson and Roman Wilson coming back. Those are probably the go-to guys. Although Roman Wilson played a lot of, he didn't really play that many snaps this year, all things considered. I think there's about like 9 games out of 14 that Angel Anthony played more snaps than Roman Wilson, which is kind of surprising when you think about how things shake out. But Cornelius Johnson, Roman Wilson returning, big-time players. They'll be like 3-year starters by next year. And then Darius Clements, keep an eye out for him. Kid out of Oregon, high-level, top 100-level recruit last year for Michigan. You saw, the backups there. We've got Carmelo English, Christian Dixon. He hasn't really made an impact in a few years at Michigan. And then Tyler Morris going into his 2nd year, and A.J. Henning will be going to, I think, his 4th year, right, next year. So we'll see how that shakes out. Wide receiver is definitely an area where Michigan should improve big time with the emergence of J.J. McCarthy being more comfortable in his 2nd year starting as Michigan's quarterback. Have you guys subscribed to the channel yet? It's the Michigan Football Report by Chat Sports, youtube.com/Michigan TV. If you subscribe, thank you. We really appreciate it. It means a lot. We do these shows because of the engagement and the interaction. If you haven't subscribed, hit that button right below the video that says subscribe. And either way, if you have or you haven't, send a link to your friends and your group chats. Share it on Facebook, Twitter, whatever you can. It really helps out. The best recommendation is ones that come from a friend. Please recommend the show if you found value and you enjoy what we do here. Let's go over to the offensive line. Woo! Michigan is stacked with depth at the offensive line. They really are. You've got, let me just count the guys. Henderson, Hinton, Keegan, Alhadi, so that's 4. Nugent, 5. Zinter, yes, 6. Barnhart. So you got 8 guys here that this past season, whether for Arizona State, Michigan, or Stanford, started 5, 6, 7, 10, 12 games this year. A bunch of starters. Huge level amount of starters there. You got 8 guys there. I've got Henderson coming over from, LaDarius Henderson coming over from Arizona State. He's got like 30-some-odd starts under his belt. Myles, but he's going to move from guard out to tackle, I believe. That's the biggest need. That's what Michigan sold him on. Myles Hinton, he'll be around. He'll probably be the starter in 2024, Hinton will. He's got 2 years of eligibility, even though he will be a 4th-year player. Trevor Keegan, starter at guard. Giovanni Al-Hadi, I think it's kind of backfilling that Al-Hadi will be a starter in 2024. Drake Nugent from Stanford, their starting center. Greg Crippen from Michigan, he'll be his third year next year, will be his backup. Zach Zinter, and then Carson Barnhart started a bunch of different places last year. He's going to beat out Trente Jones. Jones was the opening day starter at right tackle in 2022, but injuries and poor play kind of lost him his position. I've got him as a backup going into 2023. I want to ask you guys this question. How excited are you about the future of Michigan football? Give me a number on a scale of 1 through 10. I got an 8.5. If we're talking 2023, next season, it's a 10, baby. It is a 10. It is awesome. Michigan is loaded, and they are deep, and they've got everybody coming back. That all the recipe for a national title run, just like they did this year in a lot of ways. Although I think even better. But after that, you're going to lose like 16 starters potentially after the 2023 season. Could lose your quarterback. Could lose both running backs. Could lose all your impact receivers. And that's kind of you could lose like 5 or 6 of those offensive linemen we just showed you. So I'm going to put an 8.5, 6 after 2023, 10 going into 2023. Let me know what you guys are on a scale of 1 to 10. Let's take a look back at Michigan's offensive depth chart. Quarterback, we got J.J. McCarthy, Davis Warren, and Jack Tuttle. We've got it as your quarterbacks going in there. Running backs, Blake Corum, Donovan Edwards, and Max Bredesen. I'm sorry, not Max, looking at the wrong tight ends. Blake Corum, Donovan Edwards, and C.J. Stokes, apologies, at running back. Should be the best running back room, maybe the best position room in all of college football. Colston Loveland, I think he's the next Jake Butt. I think he's an all-conference player in 2023. He's an All-American player in 2024 and maybe 2025 if he sticks around for 4 years. A.J. Barnhart started at tight end for Indiana, decides to transfer over. I think it could be like a 1A, 1B combo. Max Bredesen, more of a blocker, more of an H-back, gets some snaps in there as fullback as well. Cornelius Johnson and Roman Wilson, returning starters. Darius Clemens, a guy to keep an eye out for. Top 4-star recruit, wide receiver recruit. Michigan beat out for a bunch of programs out of Portland, Oregon in the 2022 class. Christian Dixon, Carmelo English, the true freshman there. And then over on the slot, you've got A.J. Henning, who's kind of still struggling to find his role. A lot of sweeps, reverses, but not much in the passing game, punt returner. And then Tyler Morris, J.J. McCarthy's high school teammate, has a chance to make an impact. I mean, hell, by things shake out next season, I think Tyler Morris potentially could be a starter as well. But as of now, I've got those 3 guys, Johnson, Clemens, and Wilson as my stars. And then offensive line, 8 guys who've started multiple games, and 5 of them started like 10 games this past year. 3 starters from Pac-12 schools. So I've got LaDarius Henderson coming over from Arizona State. Myles Hinton backing him up. Trevor Keegan with Giovanni Al-Hadi. Drake Nugent from Stanford, their starter, with Greg Crippen going in his 3rd year as the backup center. Zach Zinter, All-American, should be next year, potentially a first-round draft pick a year from now. And then Carson Barnhart, backed up by Trente Jones, who is Michigan's starter at right tackle going into the 2022 season. Injuries and poor play kind of lost him his role there. Guys, I am on Twitter. It is at James Yoder. I tweet at least every single day on Michigan football, and I honestly, I've been voted the funniest guy on Twitter making fun of Ohio State. I come up with some good jokes. Voting committee, my mom. Nevertheless, a vote's a vote. If the vote goes in, we've got to count it. That's what we've learned over the past 4 or 5 years. So make sure you follow me. It is at James Yoder on Twitter. Link is down in the comments and the description of today's video.